Good morning. Let's get another look at condition here. Yes, they're getting a little lousy, but their condition is way better. It's getting way better. We are moving cattle. Never done that before. Yow! Hey, looky there. There's our little, this calf right here, I got to get that sucker tagged. That is out of a bull, they call number 22 Mashona. It was an AI. That's an AI calf. And so we've been kind of waiting on that one, and it looks like it's a little heifer. Doggone it. I believe it is. Ah, well. We'll still get her tagged. Anyway, we got a lot of cattle that are going to move out of here, and this is very few of them. So I'm going to keep hollering until I'm hoarse. Nice looking heifer. Little heifer calf. There's always a handful that just don't quite get it. They're supposed to be going that way on this side, and they're over there. Then again, maybe they're the smartest ones. Look at the feed. Sometimes I think they just like to see me get off and walk. They're just watching and waiting for me to fall, which is highly likely. The older I get, the worse it gets. But I think Hup, hup, hup! Y'all want to know why I hup them? This is why, to try to prevent me from having to cross. And they're moving along. I was going to say moseying along, which is probably really more accurate. But what I've done is the ones on this side, I got them out in front in hopes that it would attract these without me coming over here. And they're moving. But I would prefer not to be here all day. As much as I enjoy moving cattle, I'd like to just, get them moved and go on. Now, gotta be real careful right here, because I have stepped in a hole before that buried my whole leg. All right. Now, this is the part where I surprise them. Hup, hup. They said, I know that guy. He's not a threat. Ooh. You guys can't smell it, but the onions, the wild onions are thick right now. I'll watch for some and show you what they are. I mean, they're an onion. They sure do smell good this time of year. Hop, 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 hop. Little encouragement. There we go. Yeah, ladies, come on down like that one. They say nope. I don't know if you guys are getting the same wind that we are. I tell you what, it just wears you out. And this morning it was pretty nice early, but it's starting to blow again. It's only supposed to be, I think, 15 to 20 maybe. And it's been worse, way worse. Everybody's had it. I mean, we're getting dust from the panhandle of Texas over here, and we're supposed to get some more today. So the wind just wears you out. I'm tired of it, and it hurts because the cattle can't hear you very well, which is good if you're sneaking up on them, but it's bad if you're trying to get them to hup. So let's walk up here on this side of the bayou. And I did leave one bull in here, a younger bull, that he had been shocked by the fence. And even though there was a multitude of cows that went through the gate before him, he was just sure that there was a wire there. And he said, nope. And I could not get him through there, so he'll try again in a little while. Oh, that's good. They're still going. Maybe they crossed. Just walk down here and see. Look at this big hole right here. A year or two ago, it wasn't there. It was about like this right up here as far as depth. There they go. They're coming down. See them over there? All right, we'll keep going with them. There's my chariot. Okay, stop right here down. I guess if you have to be downstream, I'm gonna walk in and look both ways, see if I see cattle on the other side. I'm thinking those might have crossed. They might have crossed, they might have got over in behind the ones that I had already started the correct direction. One thing you notice is this brush. This is buck brush. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's already greening up. Look at all of it. It's not like that on the other side of the ranch. Granted, there's not as much of it, but it's not all these forbs and things that you see, and that browse that you see. It's not, it's 15 to 30 days behind. And I really think it's just the soil type. The side of the ranch I'm on now is, well, the bayou. This bigger creek runs through it, and it's just a different type of soil. Really strong. The other side is not quite as strong, and so consequently the cattle, and I have yet to have the goats over here. I'm really anxious to get them over. We're trying to get fence built as fast as we can. But as everybody knows that has fence to build, it is a function of time. And the more you have to build, the more time you need. I'm watching for snakes here too. It's kind of a pretty day. Ah, sign. That's not from this group. I don't see anything on that other side of that deal. Boy, that'd be nice. I'll get where I can see up downstream and upstream. Yeah, but back to the goats. I mean, I'm real anxious to try and get goats over here because there's just so much to eat that the cattle don't eat. Now, the biggest issue with having them over here is the floods. When this creek, when this river gets up, it can get bad. This is the one that from that level right there on the downstream end, about 3.5 miles from here, it was 12 feet high. 12 feet high from that level. So that was a 100-year flood, but it doesn't really matter. If you've got a herd of goats or a flock of goats and you have a 100-year flood, they better know how to swim, unless you can get them all out before it hits. All right, they all came out. They're picking up. Come on, ladies. Woo! There's the twins. Not really. I'm looking for red tag number 5. Make sure she didn't leave her baby. Because if she did, she is in horrible, horrible trouble. No excuse. No, I'll give her another chance. She's gone. I'm looking for ladies to go with. She will catch the first bus to town, which is going to be pretty quick. That one right there will too. Whoa! Come on. Guess what? That's right. We are still moving. And I mean constantly. Which that is our key. We want to put it back on as fast as we can. Hey, relax. Let me get around you here. So it's every day and sometimes quicker. And you can see, of course, this is a pasture that's not going to grow as fast as our bottoms. The further we go that way, it's further in the bottom, the faster they grow. And we're just trying to get through them, just touch them and keep right on trucking. And we're really focusing on animal performance right now, because this is our time of year where we are, as Ian Mitchell Ennis says, we are in a performance mode. We want to treat these heifers like we do our cows. We want them in a body condition score of 6 when they would normally be calving. You've been seeing a lot of calves coming out of these heifers, and what happened was that was their first exposure last year, and they were in with the big herd, which was the Angus-based cow herd that is bred to Mashonas. So their babies are all Mashona Angus, which is what these are. And so what was happening, we pulled our Mashona bulls, and the Mashona Angus bull calves that were still in there on the cows, because we had everything together, bred these. So these calves you see are actually out of the Mashona Angus calves that were still on the cows. So, you know, yeah, we didn't want them to get bred right then, but what a great way to select for early sexual maturity. They bred them. So we're not complaining. We're just moving. We try to make it simple, but it is amazing how sometimes it just works out. Hey, good morning. Well, it's kind of a slow day. Can you believe it? We've only got to move the heifers, and then we will feed the dogs, and then we're back on the project that we're working on in the shop, and I'll show y'all kind of briefly what that is here in a little bit. But anyway, just wanted to really just to kind of let everybody know that every now and then we do have a slow day. It doesn't happen very often, but this is kind of what a slow day involves. Going to do the work in the Sammy with my last cup of coffee. So let's see here. I need to set the gates for the old heifers. I do have some housekeeping I need to do right up there, and I won't be able to do that today because that involves at the very top of that pole. We set that pole. That's an old electric pole, and then it goes across over to there, and so our electric for our fence comes over up high on the creek, so it won't ever wash out. So we'll always have power over here on this side of the creek, and I can hear it popping up there. I can hear it popping up there, and evidently we've got something somehow shorting on that pole, and or it's not making a good connection going this way. At one time it was touching this ground, and I cut the ground down here where it doesn't get to it, but this right now I can see this hot wire right here has actually come over, and it's touching that ground right there. So if somebody was to come up here and touch that thing, that dude's gonna be hot, it looks like. Let me just check it. That'd be a nice little surprise for somebody. Well, it's not that hot. I don't know if that's the fence or if that's just it's not making a 100% connection. Oh yeah, that one's 8300. So yeah, it's hitting it just enough where it would make you go, I didn't like that. So anyway, let's get down here to the heifers. Let's get old Red. Old Red easing down this way. Let me just put y'all up here and you'll be able to see better since that window's so dirty. Some of the dogs, we'll come back and feed them. Right now we're going to try to get the heifers started coming. Whenever I'm doing the heifers like this in this big timber pasture, I like trying to get them started pretty early because the wind's not blowing yet, and so they have a better chance of kind of hearing me and hearing each other, you know, communicating and saying, hey, let's go, we're going. And it makes the move a lot easier. It looks like they've already been here this morning. They'll be back. You see they trailed that way, so Ah, I hear him. Whoa! They're coming. They coming. Let me move old Red out of the way here. I can definitely hear them, so they're going to be headed this way. Ooh! They ought to be here shortly. I was going to show you real quick. I had put a couple of hay bales out here for the goats when we came through here the last time, fully anticipating that they would probably utilize the green because the green was starting to come. And that's just what everybody wants right now. So I'm kind of anxious to see what the heifers do with it. They'll probably come over here and rub on it at the very least some, but who knows? They may eat it a little bit, but based on experience, they're going to be green hunting all through here. So, but I like having that there. What I did was I put those bales on a hog where hogs were rooting to see if we can kind of help get that level back out. Now there is no way on this planet that somebody can afford to get a bunch of bales to cover all of the hog rooting on this place. So it just, you know, it's one of those things. If you ever feed any, I'm just wanted to see if it would help. Ooh. In case you can't tell, we're moving everything really, really fast right now. You almost can't move back around fast enough. And I'm sitting here looking at the goat feed. This is right here. This is buckbrush, and this is something that the goats ought to be eating. And you can kind of look through here, and this is all grown since they were in here. I say grown, leafed out. So they're going to have something to kind of browse on when they get back around, which is hopefully not going to be very long. Of course, they'll enjoy eating some of these forbs also. There's a small buckbrush right there. Ooh! They coming. They must have been way up on the hill. It sounded like they were closer. I walked over here to kind of take a look and see what things looking like. It's you guys that have red buds, you're probably seeing the red buds are blooming. You can kind of see a little one right through there. But that's the time of year in our country when the red buds start blooming. That's when the morels are out, mushrooms. So this is morel hunting time, if you like those things. Yeah, okay, yeah. I'm not on my scooter, so they don't, they know my call. You can hear them holler, and they ought to be coming, but they may be confused. You know, we're in a valley, kind of where our house is, and it's got a very distinct echo / sound location issues. You'll wake up in the night and you'll hear a dog barking to the east, and you get outside and you walk a little ways and now it's in the west, and then you walk back and it's in the east, and I mean, just the sound. It's really kind of, sometimes, here they come. Ooh, woo. Sometimes it's hard to locate stuff. This is just 3. Where's the rest of them, ladies? Ooh, woo. They're coming. They coming. Ooh. Excuse me, for the cows. This big pasture, which is it's a couple hundred acres, 250 acres, something like that. And come on. Ooh. It's just a pass through. It's a way to get the cattle from way down on the north end of the goat area, kind of to the south end, and it's 99.9% brush, very little open. So it's a day, a half day if we can. So when they have babies, I have to leave them at least a day. Just give them a chance. If for some reason they bedded a baby before I moved them, and then they had to go back and get it and all that kind of stuff, I'll have to leave this gate open so they'll come and get it. Come on. Ooh, woo. There's some coming from over here. Anyway, you got to leave gates open and make sure they grab their babies. And sometimes that's hard on heifers. Sometimes heifers are just automatic. And really, those are the ones you should be keeping. But if they've got a baby, you want to try and do whatever you have to kind of, crutch them to raise the baby, at least on the first one for sure. I mean, we don't want to get involved with feeding them and things like that. But as far as something that we're doing with our management that makes it more difficult on them, which is moving, you just really have to watch that. And so that's why I leave the gates open, and it makes it a whole lot more difficult because you just can't hardly get them out sometimes when you're constantly leaving gates open. Some of them went all the way down around that way. They're funny. Ooh. Oh, now they're coming. Like, oh, we've been in here with nothing to eat for 24 hours. This old heifer right here, boy, she sucked. Oh, she's got a baby. She's her baby somewhere. Yeah, they really backed up overnight. That's one thing that I've told y'all before, is that it's amazing if you put your cattle somewhere and they back up, let's say you dry lot them, and the next day they just look gutted. You can put them right back out on feed, and in one day they should look just like they did when you put them in. So it's kind of neat how they look like that, how it makes them look good. So let's see what they're doing here. They're looking at green. Ooh. Come on. Woo! Uh-oh. Look at those hay bales, guys. Look at them gathered around them. Very interesting. Yeah, you can sure tell that that putting them in that timber overnight, even, well, it was for 24 hours, sure gutted them. So I'll be anxious to kind of see what they look like this afternoon if we get around to that. We've got a lot of other things that we're going to do, even though we're taking it easy kind of today. We've got to get the project done that we've been working on, because it's pretty important. And I'll just touch on it real quick. I don't want to waste time on that, because it's not something that every farmer slash cattle slash goat person has to deal with, but we have to deal with it. Okay, so here we are in the shop, and some of y'all may recognize what this is right here. This is panels for a pig trap. Here's one over here by this samurai, and this is going to be the guillotine gate to load. I'm having to build something to load out, and so I need a guillotine gate that I can handle, and then I've got to build a tunnel with the top and a little ramp over to the trailer to load the pigs out. The pigs are very destructive, and I don't think you're ever going to get rid of them, but you can hopefully control them a little bit, because it's very disappointing, discouraging when you spend a lot of time trying to improve your soil and things like that, and then they just come in and it's like a 4-bottom plow, just destroy it. So we're gonna start doing this and see if we can't control them a little bit better. So anyway, I'm working on that, and it's kind of important that I get it done here pretty quick. So anyway, hopefully you saw from the videos that this time of year what we do is we're moving them. I mean, we are moving them. That's how we get condition back on. We allow them to back up in the winter, because that's the way they were created to function. And then we put the condition back on, and we want them in a body condition score of 6 before they calve. And if everything goes according to plan, it works really well. So thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.